can't be negotiable with corruption. Because it's literally has put us in COVID corruption, the conglomerization and the withdrawal of state resources from the people who are supposed to be represented by parliamentarians, public representatives, to globalist entities who provided vaccines at gunpoint.
Welcome to the Hustlers Corner. It's been an incredible year. We are at the Eskom Property Development Farm in North Riding. We are excited because where we are, you are seeing trees, but this is just a little farmhouse at the bigger farm. In North Riding, 140 units are coming up here, and almost half of this development is already done. Investments start from 195,000 rands. Get in touch with EFF on 079 275 8821. Build your 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, build your double, triple stories, build your basement, build your double, triple garages. People are buying double stands, and a lot of people, instead of upgrading their cars during the festive season, they decided, you know what, why don't I put my money to work? Why don't I buy land? Why don't I buy property? Here is a great opportunity for you. Get in touch. EFF 079 275 8821. That's how we are taking back the land. By getting it, rezoning it, adhering to the rules and regulations of the government, splitting it up for our people. Even if you are blacklisted, even if you can't afford 195,000 rands to buy the entire land for yourself, you can pay up a deposit of 100,000 and you can pay up the 95,000 rands in a payment plan of anything between 6, 9 months to 12 months. Get in touch with Ekasi Noble Property Development. I know people are getting into 2024 as it's a new year right now. People are saying it's a new year. There are New Year's resolutions, but some of us who have been going through this enlightenment spiritual journey, we would like to say to you, for us, we're getting into the second quarter of the year. Who are new in this African knowledge, who are no longer going according to the Gregorian calendar, who are now adopting the ancient old African calendar. We're saying to us, our new year is in September. So we're about to get into the second quarter of the year as you guys are starting a new year. We don't hire anyone, we don't charge anyone, but a teacher appears when the student is ready. And here's a teacher, and I'm the student. That's why I appeared in her life, to learn from her. We've had great engagements. Penuel the Black Pen, my brother, very proud of you. You've got a growing podcast. You've introduced me to this amazing sister, amazing lady, only to find that me and her, when we were young back in the day, we knew each other through some mutual friends that we know. But ever since we've had engagement with Sis Mandisa, the engagements have been thought-provoking, insightful, educational. It has made some people angry. It has made some people to start following her, to find out who she is, to follow her history. But for those who've been following her political career, you would know the mind that she is. She's a force. She's a powerhouse. She's an intelligent mind. And I'd like to appreciate you for joining us once again today, Sis Mandisa.
Oh, why do you do that? I mean, you know how uncomfortable it is to sit whatever. I wish I was like Saudi, because Saudi was like, I can do that at home privately. It's like, look into the mirror. I'm great. I'm wonderful.
Well, we do
I'm
that for our
gorgeous.
kids. Those are affirmations. We do them for our kids, but we need to do them even as adults, you know?
No, we do. Nature is amazing, though, because, I'm big on nature. And
yeah, thank you to this, coming to this natural farm,
yeah,
property
that's where
development.
I'm going, exactly.
I'm looking forward to seeing you buy a stand.
And I
here.
stay in North Riding. I'm very broke. Oh, God, I'm broke. No, I'm not broke. I mustn't say that. You can't say I'm broke, Aibo.
Don't attract brokenness.
Okay, I'm broke.
Yes.
No,
you're not.
I'm not broke. In fact,
I've seen a bread called broke, and I've called out some people who wear that bread. I'm like, hey,
Oh, I capitalize it.
But like abundance mindset, you know?
This is the thing, like, how do you put money into saying I am? I don't even want to say that word. I am happy. I'm happy.
I guess you bring it to yourself. I mean, you would know.
Yeah.
You would know.
No, you're bringing it into your quantum field because we are already in the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know, like sometimes we're like, oh, the universe, like
The universe.
like up there, like you see birds and stars and the moon. And you're like, oh, universe, oh, it's beautiful. Okay, yes, it is though. I mean, that's correct. There's nothing wrong with that. But it starts here where your skin ends.
Yeah.
Where your skin ends, so universe, therefore quantum field. So your quantum field is you stand up straight and then you stretch out your arms like that. And then you go around, you make a circle. Go right around 360 degrees, not 180. 180 is
Okay.
half. That's your quantum field in the universe. So behave like you're in the universe because you are in fact in the universe. So saying things like, I am stupid, I am whatever.
Ngiyabheda, ngiyazama, ngiyancenga, ngiyanyiwa. Hey, ulethi nonsense empilweni yakho. Mina ngigrand, mina ngithoba, mina ngijabulile, mina ngimuhle, mina ngitswembu, mina ngiblind, mina ngibillionaire.
Exactly. I'm a billionaire. I ain't broke. I'm far from being broke right now. But don't be calling me asking me for money.
Abundance mindset, right?
It's just like how you should be. I mean, even nesintu sisho njalo. That's why ma unesinyama kumele siyogeza.
Like,
Or isichitho.
oh, unalesinyama jwang.
No, people do these things though.
Unesichitho loyo. He looks.
No,
Guys,
we
it's December, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, we're
We're
Decembering.
chilling. Don't judge us. I'm having a drink.
No,
I
no,
want
me, I
people to
can't
know
be.
that I'm having a drink. It's holidays. And
Mina
Teshimo fire.
ngideshanga mina because it
Yeah, no, I'm talking
ngiphuza
about
dash.
myself.
Mina ngiphuza dash.
I'm talking about me.
Actually, let me put some bougainvillea in my drink and my water.
With that being said, let's start here.
I haven't rinsed it. Okay. So today I decided, because this garden, like I'm honoring the garden. Also, I did ask quietly in spirit if I could pick the plants. Because if you take a rock or plant, anything from the ground, you must always ask and say thank you.
Yes, no.
Don't just take.
No, kodwa bathi umuthi awubongwa ngesintu.
That's why you just ask and take.
Okay, I get you. Kodwa bathi
But
for-
you do it in gratitude. Because I think
Yes.
that's a misnomer about how we pray as
about
Africans.
attracting things, ne? Abantu bayakhohlwa ukuthi
Abanye bathi
you ba-
mawubonga, you are basically saying sharp.
No.
Then the blessing
Now,
stops.
bonga, that's how you attract it because you're convincing your mind that it has already happened. Angithi.
It's also just the humility of being grateful. Ubuntu.
But that's how we are as Africans.
Exactly.
But if for every human ailment or in any human body, there is a plant as a cure for it.
that even looks
Take
like
us
that
through.
part of the body that it cures
I get you.
most of the time. Anyway, so this is agapanthus.
Oh, say that line again. It looks like that part that it cures.
Yeah,
What
like
did
beans.
you- what does that mean?
Not like beans are good for your kidneys and they look like a kidney.
Oh, wow! How do I learn that at 44? Go on again.
Like roses look like whatever you think roses look like, and then you can make rose water with your roses.
Oh, yes,
But
yes,
it will
yes.
cure something that looks like it. Avocado is looks like a heart almost, or am I getting it right? Anyway, so agapanthus. So I learned about agapanthus from my Reiki teacher. I'm coming out now. I'm coming out. She taught me about. I had a headache that just wouldn't stop, and in my complex, we have lots of agapanthus. So I didn't know about it because it looks like the African garlic plant, which I have lots of in my garden. The one that we use to decorate gardens, garlic, and it makes a beautiful curry.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy garlic, but we all have it in our gardens. And
Yeah.
it's decorating iron. We don't really use it as garlic. Sometimes I do. And it's the African garlic. So this is agapanthus and nalea garlic plant. But you take the root, maune pain. So she says, we get some agapanthus root. They're still small. So this is an agapanthus that's big. These are the leaves. Zayo. I'm not speaking professionally or as a botanist, guys. Please, I'm not a botanist. I just do a lot of things in my kitchen. I'm on TikTok, so TikTok enriches me. So those are the leaves for the agapanthus plant.
What
The
is
leaves have
what is
uses.
agapanthus good for?
Ntelezi, yabona? So it's in that family Ntelezi. It's a bulb as well. But
What
it's
is
the roots.
intelligence in Geslung?
Anyas.
Okay. And what is agapanthus good for?
Pain. So
Okay.
you take out the root, rinse it, crush it maybe in like a cotton cloth or something porous but natural, hopefully. Cotton, hemp, isaga nje. And then you rub it. It's actually better when you just do it direct. So if you have your headache and it's kind of like here, wherever the pain is manifesting, because pain is a sign, is inflammation. It's inflammation,
yeah.
And it's a sign your body's, obviously its defense systems have kicked in, but it's also now alerting you very overtly because it's something very serious. Often people even romanticize living with pain. I used to do that. Like, sorry, I'm not being judgy. I used to be addicted to painkillers. And I had 2 surgeries, so I became more addicted to painkillers. I was very big. And that like a woman who's well-rounded. But I wasn't well. I was sick. I had inflammation in my whole body. Well, not my whole body, but... And eventually inflammation just causes cancer and all these other things. So where you have pain, you take the root, rinse it, crush it, rub it on that pain. Literally, there's no mathematics. You just rub it on the pain until you're done.
So that's acupuncture.
Then the pain goes.
Is it?
Acupuncture.
So I've just learned about how great and good alu is. And I've just started clubbing it. Because with December, no mama, there's a lot of alu, clubbing it. Water. And the water that I drink is that water that has got alu.
So you take the gel out, chop it, and put it into water.
Yes, and soak it and put it in the fridge.
And then you can mix it with
and then
whatever.
I can make it. Thank you.
You can mix it with strawberries. And
But it's healthy. It's good for you. And maybe let's get into the
blood
alu.
disorders.
Blood disorders.
Blood, like
It's good for your
diabetes.
skin.
I'm not confirming this. I'm putting sushi.
And we're not doctors.
There's that
guys.
doctor guy.
Hey,
There's that guy.
Dr. Matthew.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't even know him.
Shout out to Dr. Matthew. Looking forward to having you on the platform, bro.
Okay.
No, I'm looking forward to having Dr.
No,
Matthew on
I'm
the
not being
platform.
judgy. I keep
Yeah.
repeating that. There's
Okay.
no judgment.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can be your own doctor. Kumalo.
Sasha Fierce and then this is like
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but to Kelly Kumalo, Kelly Kumalo.
Give you December, boss. Who
Kelly
December,
Kumalo,
boss.
agana.
She doesn't have a stage name.
She
Mrs.
goes
Kelly, no?
live. She's live.
I think maybe no, she doesn't. Yeah. But you also you're not an entertainer. But Tina,
Thank you. No, ngiyabonga. And then angsi celebrity guys, like I don't I'm broke. Like if for you to be a celebrity.
Stop saying you broke.
Okay, sorry. I'm wealthy. I'm a billionaire.
Thank
but
you.
I'm a billionaire like who can't have a bodyguard and a driver right
Yet.
now. No,
And
it's
you will
okay.
choose- you
No,
will
I
choose
don't know.
not to
I
have
don't
them.
really want one.
Yeah.
I don't. Even if I could
Nah,
afford
man,
it.
nah,
No,
man.
I love my freedom because, you know, you get a store, they treat you bad and then you have to give them a lecture. As a normal person,
Yeah.
I'm a customer. You can't treat me like this.
That's why ngichazeka
I don't
ngaphesheya.
deserve to be treated like
Because
this.
nobody knows you and then uba normal. Well, me. Like,
Yeah, and that's, you must confuse the enemy.
Uyakhunjuzwa
You
wena,
must
yeah,
confuse
squares,
the-
baba.
Yeah, because also you can't afford a driver. It's a reality. Usuqala ubhema njenge-celebrity. Kuzoyenzakalani?
Mari driver mamelas all your news. Angithi bathi even
Yibo
bathi
vele.
neinkabi when they
Yibo vele.
But you've seen a lot of interviews, especially in 2023 last year. A lot of people have been saying, well, who to interview, saying khuluma ngeinkabi manje, even especially here on YouTube. They would say ukuthi
Like the ones who took out to AK. Is it AK?
inkabi nje, just assassins, that's what they call them, right? They say usually when they're out to take out a politician or that type of a person, obviously the price is higher. Why? Because some of that money must go pay bodyguards. Because they go and bribe and share bodyguards.
So that balahle side.
Ama-bodyguard abafuneki, there's no need. Even just besides you ukuthi uzolahlisa, just your umuntu olalelane neindaba zakho njalo, you know. You can never know
Broadcast uyi-BBC.
naseka neimpintshi zakhe lapha ne-deep sleuth.
No,
Alex.
Lalela,
ngawe,
that's
you know?
data to him or her.
You know what I mean? And you don't know if
So
you know
data you sell.
umfazi wakhe ubani uthini ngawe kuye lo
Abo
mfazi
Bill Gates
uthini.
bathengisa data, like they're billionaires selling data and well, they do lots of other things.
But they're now selling our health data. What are they doing with it?
So they can do whatever we allow them to do. You really, I saw something earlier and I was showing it to your Kasi Properties
Ekasinobo
partner.
Properties,
Ekasinobo.
there is
I
at the
asked
back.
him if he
That's
wants
cool to
to be
show.
part of the conversation. He's like, no, busy. So it's like Tina Siko busy. But anyway, it's okay. I made peace.
Abantu
with that.
bacabanga ukuthi lo msebenzi wethu siyahlala.
I know, like
wecanga siyadlala.
kumnandi.
Sisemsebenzini.
People have to wake up, look, shower, put on
I
makeup,
know. People don't
like
understand
make a
some
big
seven-
effort. Because
but,
most of the time, I'm like ngifana nepara, to be honest.
Serious?
Yeah.
Upanzul.
No, like ngihamba ngamakota, 90%. I only do this when I'm coming here or on TV or an event. Then the problem is that if then it looks like you're always sort of
Prim and proper.
no. Don't even like making
But
up
let me
my
tell you.
bed. But let's go back to Big Pharma. It's not even about Big Pharma. And I'm happy because it's part of this conversation. It's part of this conversation, the Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea is anti-cancer and whatever, but we'll come back.
Bougainvillea is which one? The purple one?
Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful. You can drink this, the flowers. Make
So
a
this
tea.
is another form of
I
aloe,
think
right?
in our mixer name, you have only red hibiscus.
Ini?
Chidede.
Yeah.
Chidede, red
Yeah.
hibiscus. Yeah,
Yeah.
where's I can do it with red hibiscus. All of this you
What did you say
drink,
this was?
eat. This one is the leaf yagalo.
Oh,
Yaga
okay, I
agapanthus.
get you.
Yeah.
Hamba
Ilo
nalo.
fana ne.
Wepain lo.
Ilo fana ne
Lo
nentelezi.
uyi-ibuprofen yamampela.
Pain. Yeah, unamanye ama uses across, but I know the
ahlukahlukene,
root.
okay.
Yeah.
Konje then uthe lo sese-summarize manje. Lo konje utheni?
Bougainvillea.
Yeah, konje uthe
It's anti everything.
okay. And
Yeah,
then
it's
konje lo
good for
alu
cancer as
sengikhulumile ngayo. Sure. Guys, you can also
Blood
Google.
disorders.
Okay.
Or blood disorders.
Let's talk about Big Pharma.
So you follow Russell Brand.
Yeah. I
Van-
follow most podcasters.
Vandana Shiva, that's
Yes.
my girl. Vandana Shiva reminds me of Umamu Wangari Maathai, and because they were alive during a time during our time, and Vandana Shiva, Vandana Shiva is still alive, and she is like fearlessly anti-Bill Gates, like Aranandaba. She doesn't care. She's running a very successful program. Of course, not by herself, with a team and people, and I think through an organization. She's very indigenous. Because my grandmother was a farmer, an indigenous farmer.
Yeah.
So Vandana Shiva has fought the GMO. You know, okay, firstly, shout out to Putin. Shout out to Putin, because in Russia, there's no GMO. GMO in Russia or Putin.
So not genetically
You're not
modified
allowed.
foods, nothing
Putin doesn't allow
in
GMOs
Russia. So
in Russia.
everything original from the ground. Okay.
Akavumi GMO. So Vandana Shiva is fighting GMOs because
Okay.
GMOs come with Monsanto and there's other big
Monsanto, yeah.
players. Monsanto.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I don't know their name properly.
Okay.
So they're doing that in India. I mean, we get all these amaclove, cinnamon, like loads of spices, all the curries and the various. We get lots of beautiful spices from the natural biodiversity of India. By the way, as beautiful as India is in terms of biodiversity, no one beats South Africa, because we've got over 8,000 different species of plants alone. I'm not even talking, it's flora, not fauna, not animals, where we are included. Nonetheless, so Vandana Shiva is successfully fighting for all farmers, indigenous farming methods to be sustained, because, I mean, we're talking about organic, but it's our all indigenous peoples are, indigenous and not, producing food and processing resources and beneficiating that processing by manufacturing. And we wore hemp and cotton and many other silk. We've got so many fabrics, almost Hessian, amasaga.
Yeah.
From all these plants, we maximize nature, and every part of nature, it dies and it feeds the soil again. So we're all one thing, really. The from dust to dust story. So these guys, big pharma, big tech, big property, big finance, big agriculture, all of them are conglomerating. So it's imperialism, but imperialism is the highest form of capitalism. And you have to simplify it. What is capitalism about? Private accumulation, mass, unbridled, non-stop accumulation. Like, there's no law, even a constitution anywhere in the world that I know. Maybe, I don't know about Russia, or maybe China, yeah? That basically prohibits and blocks and stops, or limits, let's say, what you can accumulate in a capitalist environment. 1, 2, that seen together with the rights to privacy, to privacy, and then extended to the right to private ownership of assets. and then understanding what basically essentially capitalism is, you then see how all it encourages is this, to me,
So
like
State
literally.
Street, Vanguard,
Whatever I want.
BlackRock,
I am not
it
limited
all
in
just
terms
comes
of how
and
I can
own as much as
accumulate it.
accumulate as much as
So it doesn't matter. I'm not ideological. You know that. I like capitalists, by the way. This is an analytical conversation. It's not emotional. Is that in terms of production and processes and the formulae and the mechanisms, the mechanical processes to production and making a profit. In principle, that process is correct. It's the mass accumulation, anchored in the privacy of it and privacy to the extent of a micro individual. So Bill Gates can have $1 trillion, billion. What is he? He's not a trillionaire yet. Yeah.
Elon
He's
Musk
still
is.
only a billionaire.
Elon Musk is a trillionaire.
You're right. So
Does it even matter? It's like it gets to a point where you can't even count anymore.
So the problem there, because there is a problem. And like I said, in terms of other things, they might look. I mean, the IP thing. We'll come to that again. Back to plants and natural and GMOs and creating scarcity, because capitalism as well is built on scarcity. So when you produce, in order for you to guarantee, so you have to control supply and demand factors. In order for you, by the way, I dropped out of my MBA. I'm so happy I finally said it.
Guys, I also dropped out of my MBA, so you feel
Oh,
better.
we drop out.
But I finished my MBA and made history through what I did with my
finished
real
it.
MBA.
You finished it.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm the only idiot.
No, you're not an idiot.
It's dropped
You
out.
educate me all the time. Continue.
So anyway, then the mass accumulation, the rights to private ownership,
Sorry, and I
unbridled.
would like to thank you, Henley Business School. Thank you, Genesis Business School. Continue.
I'd like to say that about Gibbs, and they tried to support me. There were extenuating circumstances, though. I'm not making excuses because I'm not an excuse
That's a topic
person.
for another day.
So basically, the problem with this is that, on the back of colonization is how this happened, dispossessing land and resources from many, America, Africa, Australia, India, parts of it, all of it, parts of China.
Palestine.
Yeah, the Middle Eastern, there were attempts, the Roman Empire, in different phases. So that's the problem with it, right? And so it gets to a point where, what do they call a bottomless pit? It becomes a bottomless pit. Ayikwazi ukusutha ayigcwali.
Umgqomo nembobo. Umgqomo ovuzayo.
So that's the problem with it, you understand? Because now it's like funneling into this person. Yes, like we want to be billionaires. We just said we are billionaires. When I said I'm broke. And
You're not. Please stop saying that.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And then we turn around and go to the opposite extreme and say, I'm a billionaire. And it's okay to say that it's good, probably.
I've
Because
been saying that. I've been saying that for almost 20 years.
Yeah, but you're a full-on capitalist,
But
and that's
anyway.
okay.
And-
Not
and
yet, not yet though. But you do own some means of production because more fire is
Yeah,
produced.
yeah. I've got
It
my
has
own little
machinery.
influence,
Yeah,
my
you're
own
okay.
little
You're a mini.
space.
You're a
I'm
mini.
okay
You're
in
a
my
mini
own little-
capitalist. You're a mini capitalist. You're a budding capitalist.
But then again,
How's about that?
Sorry,
Budding
continue.
capitalist.
I think a lot of the people have loved the fact that through the growth of this podcast, I'm a good listener. So I'd like to apologize to those that I irritate when I interfere when my guests are speaking at Xolisa MANDISA MASHEGO.
But then again, you're doing this on purpose. It's like, okay, Ngicela, can I bring people into our sneak preview of our private life? Not that we have a private life together.
Yeah.
Like our private before we start the work. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is the only time we ever meet.
I know.
We never even go to parties together.
I know, but we
Maybe
will.
you don't invite
But
me.
we did
and
end
I-
Inzalo Elanga
Oh, yeah, we
together.
did. That was
And we're
amazing.
doing another one now in 2024.
Yeah, no, we'll talk
And I
about
like that
that.
that
We'll
crowd is
talk,
getting
we'll
bigger,
talk
but we'll
about
talk
that.
about
but
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
I, unlike you, I don't believe in sharing my private business.
Okay.
Because I think I need to be clear now about Inzalo Yelang in terms of, all big respect to Mkhulu Nsingiza, my force, and of course, the ultimate God, Ubabu Umkhulu Credomot, and our Egyptian gods. I'm from Egyptian descent and Ethiopian.
That's another conversation I want us to get into.
So-
I want us to talk about the young sensation called Usis Tyler, a young one. She's killing it all over the world in music. I don't know if you've heard about her. There's a big conversation about being mixed race, and people in the world are now starting to get exposed to What are you talking about? You've
Yeah,
got
where must
a
we go?
colored community in South Africa. Because
I
us
remember
here in
that.
America, colors are black. We'll get into that conversation later.
So, no, I need to summarize it. So, the bottom line is that right now, people need to just get it straight. Mangabuye wachova uchovile wena ke, I know your story and I'm not going to out you. I'm a good friend. Mina I'm an anti-vaxxer, like Gava anti-vaxxer. Yeah, I'm always, crazy though. So this is the thing. Like we are not. I heard you earlier. We're not judging anybody. Nami, I think this the theme of the show is not judging.
Yeah.
Because we're finishing our first quarter of our new year. Because it's 23, 21 of September. So honest to God, like people need to get off big pharma. I get it. Kuna bantu banama chronic. And I'm saying it deliberately like that. And by the way, chronic, like Angita America, ilama drugs was starting chronic. Because now you must be on it for life. And I'm not saying this with any lack of empathy. I am saying it with absolute love. Because this thing is way bigger than that. That's why earlier I mentioned big pharma, big property, big tech, big finance, big fin, big manufacturing.
Big media. Big everything.
Big agri.
Yeah. And it's the 1%.
Monsanto.
Yeah.
Bill Gates literally going around the world buying loads of farms, and even in Europe, the Dutch farmers, I have absolute love for them. But here, this is a survival thing before you can even, because we're going to, we're headed for a collision globally.
What do you mean we're headed for a collision?
I mean, when they were doing COVID. I mean, guys, I'm so sick of this naivety.
Transhumanism?
It's depopulation.
Is that true?
But we spoke about this so many
times.
times.
Are they really alleviating a big
They
number?
started it long ago. It started over 100 years ago.
With AIDS as well.
Maybe more. I mean, it started long
with
before.
AIDS as well.
No, it's thousands of years.
You must go follow a lady called Judy Mikovits. Judy Mikovits. Go research.
So AIDS was not even the first.
Also go to Rumble.
The first was the
Ebola.
1918.
No, Ebola was after AIDS.
The 1918 flu. The one that we kept on benchmarking on when this COVID thing was starting.
Was that swine flu?
No. Flu. Low, yes, you're the normal one. The 1918. You didn't hear about the 1918 shutdown. Baba Cholisama mask.
Oh, yeah, Dala.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time flu was basically introduced.
Yeah. Europe also, ne?
Everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Everywhere.
Even in Africa.
Yeah, that's when when was gold? When was the first capitalist? Okay, so like I don't know much about Karl Marx, but Karl Marx analyzes capitalism. But my only problem with him is that he doesn't analyze it from the colonial European colonial perspective, because without colonialism, it wouldn't have been able to be implemented.
And that's why I love one of Untate Julius Malema's perspectives when he corrects somebody who says, yeah, but it has worked everywhere, this and that, and Marxism, and anyway, we'll talk about this topic for another day. So
yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, so basically what needs to happen now is that, so people have nuclear capabilities in terms of weaponry. They have atomic capabilities in terms of atomic bombs. I think they were already used in World War II, right? Atomic bombs. And so weaponry, and now forget all of that. There's robotics, there's robots. And so it's an inevitable thing. So how it happens, I mean, I don't want to be like an alarmist and spreading doom and gloom, and I am a conspiracy theorist, but this has nothing to do with anyone that you know who's a friend, a relative, an associate, business partner in person, or who happens to have money and be wealthy. No, it's way above that. It's at a very different level. So COVID was one of the processes and one of the steps that were already predetermined. There's a guy in the US, he was being interviewed recently by, it wasn't Russell Brand, who's that guy that they fired from Fox?
Patrick Bet David. Oh,
No, I'm a Trump person, so.
No, Patrick Bet David offered him $100 million.
So this guy predicted 9/11, like to the T. And then they were like, Tucker, yeah. Tucker interviewed this guy. And this guy's been blackballed everywhere in America. Well, he's selling products and he's got a brilliant online social media presence, and he's doing quite well. I forget his name. But he basically predicted that September 11 was it 2001?
Even The Simpsons predicted it.
Because, and then he explained. So he had him and he asked him, so are you a big prophet? It's like, no. I think he's kind of like a data analyst, but he's in the sort of digital space or computer engineering, computer science or space. And so he has information and data that's available to everybody that's like publicly available. Well, maybe not to everyone. But yeah, like WEF, the World Economic Forum meetings are public. They say crazy things there, and we all just read the paper.
Hey.
Hey, WEF.
Hey.
They say these things like openly.
And bas Kuruma 99. There's another video where what one konje? Ulono soma what one le time actually mkhulu. Ubani konje lo wasa America lo?
Bill Gates.
No, not Bill Gates. Now usipana no Bill Gates skimesi one.
Yeah, Bezos.
No, not Bezos.
Not Jeff Bezos. George Soros.
No, lo to ubani konje le man just.
Not to Elon Musk.
Old man.
Okay, not to Rockefeller.
No, man.
Not
what's his name, bro?
Not
give me his name, man.
Not
No,
Oppenheimer.
you have to know his name.
Not
The old
Oppenheimer.
guy. The guy from CDC.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
The one who worked for Biden. The one who worked for Biden. He's not a billionaire. That thing is a...
Yeah, now Bill Gates.
No, actually Bill Gates lawyer.
No,
He's a
not
little
Bill Gates.
chihuahua.
Like,
Yeah.
ambassador.
Yeah.
Yomtanga.
Yeah, so I mean, so if we just fast track the conversation, the reality is that we need to take care of our bodies because the reality is that they are not stopping.
Fauci. Yeah.
So they're not stopping. I mean, some of the crazy things I hear about Joe Biden and the things that he does in the White House behind cameras. Ukuthi abantu kumele bahambe baphethe ama-jacket because sometimes I don't know, like I'm not saying this, I heard it.
But listen, that's sure sometimes in front of the camera.
Sometimes akagqokanga, they have to cover him.
Sometimes
No, but the videos are real. No, they're real. The White House would have issued statements denouncing them.
But why would you vote some?
Falling on the stairs,
Sometimes you look video.
No, like he wanders off the stage.
You know.
Yeah, but guess like, why is he president? So you see, it leaves chills in your body. Like you end up blaming yourself, feeling like you're being like a prick. Because you're being horrible to him. That's why Utuena maybe isn't as a Trump.
But sometimes I believe like
America's
America. Like I believe like the president that's America. Sometimes like that. I
change a mid-sentence. Like he changes the whole sentence, this guy. Like like literally it's like a chichi topic.
Why is the president? Because I believe
Wait, stop being black.
But anyway.
That's too much black. Why would you why by the president Gaje? Hey,
But I'm believing Are those things true?
No, don't deflect to the people. Don't get happy. Oh my goodness, Utu Biden, like Trump's favorite line is about
Sleepy Joe.
Trump. He can't even string two sentences together. Let's make America great again. This guy, he goes off cue. He goes off cue now and then.
Yeah.
And then he does. It's like, will you please allow me to just get off the script a little bit? At least and then sometimes he's like, he's saying something, he's talking about Russia. He's like, no, Russia is not a problem for me. I was president, it was not a problem for me. I went straight to Putin. I went to North Korea. I went there, like myself, physically. And I left and everything was fine. I told them, I'm going to bomb the shit out of you. I'm not even going to play with you. Yeah. But we can also just have an agreement.
But Sleepy Joe.
Then by the agreement was hamba.
But Sleepy Joe, come out.
Sleepy Joe, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he's got a name for him. Donald Trump has a name for him.
Sleepy Joe.
There's another one. It's very derogatory. Oh, no. he shared IP yaga Hillary. Remember he used to call her
Oh, Hillary got the
he used to call her Crooked Hillary.
Crooked Hillary. Yeah.
He officially announced
Oh,
during one of
Washale
his
bafuthe
rallies.
Body count Hillary. Or
During
what?
one of
Crooked-
his rallies, wa announced okay, from today onwards, I am officially removing the title of Hillary is not crooked. It's Crooked Joe. Crooked Joe. It's Crooked Joe. Joe Biden is crooked. And I don't even get it. He can't even string two sentences together. He can't even string two sentences together. Like, no, America. Yeah, but now if you talk about freedom, it needs to get to that point.
Yeah.
Really, because we need to be honest with each other. And this is that freedom that I need to exercise. Honest to God, like we are being fed food that is toxic, causes inflammation. We spoke about inflammation. We are being given medicine that is toxic and causes. There are some good medicines. There are lots of different types of good foods out there. But if you get it from like my grandmother, if they still are, I know they're sort of decreasing in number, and we need to do something about that. We need to start self-producing. We need to stop sharing these videos with TikTok because everybody's on this tip. Vandana Shiva, whom I give so much honor to. Oh, by the way, sorry, I'm so rude. I wanted to pay my condolences to Zahara.
Yeah.
Usisibulelo Matukana. Well, uyingane,
Mkutukana.
Mkutukana.
She's a daughter
Edmund
to-
Road. I didn't know her surname. Yeah, no, she's not. I would have
think
had to be
so.
like 15 or
Oh, yeah,
14
you're
or
correct.
13.
She's your
She's my
she's
baby
your
sister.
Yeah, baby sister.
Yeah, she's
my baby sister.
almost the
too.
same age as my baby sister.
Yeah.
But there are people who do give birth at those ages. Yeah. So I wanted to, because the BBC issued a press release, and it was actually on their online, on their website actually. And by the way, she was awarded one of the 100 women of
Top 100 women.
BBC's 100 women list. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
100 women list.
I
Yeah,
think it was
BBC in
2014 or
2020.
Oh, it was 2020. Yeah. Okay.
And they have so much love for her, and they understand her music. They know her music. I didn't know much about her except that me and her are born in the same. I was born in King Williamstown, Ezwelicha,
Oh, she's from Pumlani.
Zone 8. Yeah, in
Yeah,
Ezwel,
we've just laid her
King
to
Williamstown.
rest.
Yeah,
May her soul
Ekong.
rest in peace. Guys, I did a video, a
Ekong.
tribute to Zahara. Just go check out that video on my YouTube channel, on DJ Sbu YouTube channel.
So I wanted to pass my condolences to her family and her friends, and if she has kids, I'm not sure if she has kids.
No, she had just gotten married.
Community.
But she doesn't have
oh,
kids
really?
yet, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. So it's really, really. I mean, she was super, super amazing. I was here when you were recording, but behaving myself, sitting somewhere and listening.
Oh, when we were doing the tribute video, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful.
Gabonga
A lo-
Sisonga.
I really appreciated it because a lot of what you mentioned, the history, and I didn't know. I thought Zahara was her name.
Oh, no, her name is Bulelwa.
That's yeah.
Her
I
name
really,
was Bulelwa.
Zahara is a name that you all
You
came up with in your stable, and thank you for the good work that you did with her.
Siyabonga,
Because also I pick up that you have a soft spot for mothers and women.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ukhulisa abantu
Yeah.
besifazane.
And, oh, congratulations also to your daughter. Who got an average of 90. How much
Oh,
percent?
A plus. Number 2 in
A
her school.
plus.
A plus.
And
yeah.
A plus is number 2.
Hlakaniphile le one.
Sure, the bar is
Can you
too
imagine?
high
I'm like, "No, look, ukuhlole kanjani?"
in the environment of 30%.
Daddy, I did my best. She's in a higher grade. She's a different
No, A
grade
plus
than
is like going for 100, eh?
me. But then I saw-
Yeah, but we know what happens also. I experienced that at Wits Tech.
Yeah.
I got like 90s.
By the way, guys, we used to study together
Physiology.
back in the day at Wits Tech.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Doornfontein.
Yeah,
I was in the
Doornfontein,
nerd
mm.
campus. But of course, we spent a lot of time in
I mean,
Auckland
I
Park.
became a teacher.
No, I spent a lot of time.
Sibajabulisa,
Fistas.
nabo Tokolo,
Yeah.
nabo Fistas, nabo
Fistas, yeah.
Kabelo,
Oh my God, like
nabo Zwai.
me and you have like a very close,
Our
like
history back in the Kwaito days.
Fistas. So, because we were at Doornfontein, he was at Doornfontein. I don't know if he was studying engineering or computer engineering or mining. He was doing something in the sciences, like all of us, but I don't know. I think the DJing swallowed him up. But a friend of mine was okay, I don't know if I can say this. I don't want to mention names because I don't want to
Don't
get sued.
mention them,
Because
it's
like
okay.
Unisa is suing
Because
me.
ngizwile bathi Eunice yakusuwa based on
Unisa
the
is suing
interview you
me.
did in
And
opinion.
I repeat again, I'm not apologizing. So, by the way, sorry, we didn't
Guys,
disclaim.
we apologize.
This
We're
is
jumping
not
from one topic
this
to the
is
next.
not the Hustlers Corners comment. It's
Yeah.
my personal comment, and this is not DJ Spoo's comment. It's my personal comment.
While ngidasha. Kodwa uthini usola? Asitesheni
So-
uDecember guys.
Ish, yabona, December wami is going to be so like. I just need to rest.
Unisa, let's go.
I need to rest. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I need to rest. I really need to rest. But Unisa is suing me, or so they said. I haven't received the papers. Lebogang Maile threatened to sue me. Paul Mashatile threatened to sue me. They at least follow through on their threat. They send me lawyers' letters. I have them still. I didn't respond. Well, I don't want to talk about it too much because it's in my previous life. But I haven't been to court as yet. But I want to put it on the record. When UNISA finally serves me the papers, I will defend myself in court. I don't need a lawyer because I can't afford a lawyer. But I know there are very wealthy people who are watching this. So if you want to offer me your legal services or your money to pay for top-notch legal services, please go ahead and do that. But I do want to humbly, very humbly state that maybe I don't need lawyers because I want to share this because we're in a constitutional democracy and it's very important for abantu, especially abantu besifazane, abantu abamnyama besifazane, to know that you can represent yourself in court without knowing the procedures because ufika as umuntu or like a normal person, a lay person. Therefore, the judge, the presiding officer has to guide you and offer you any other resources because you're a taxpayer. Even if you don't pay pay as you earn, you don't pay company taxes, and you don't pay all sorts of other taxes, skills development levy, etc. Pay as you earn on behalf of your employees, etc. Whether you're a provisional taxpayer or a normal taxpayer, you pay taxes every day through poverty. You pay 15% VAT. You're paying a lot of money. So we're now figure a court and thank you. I'm not going to mention the name. I was also guided further. That's what I was going to do, but I was further guided by a very respectable person who twice successfully represented themselves in the High Court as a layperson and won the case. You argue the simple facts as per your lay knowledge, especially as a whistleblower, because majority whistleblowers are women. There are male whistleblowers, but the majority are women. And what happens to them? They get killed, like by Babita Deokaran. May her soul rest in peace. I'm really torn apart by Babita Deokaran in terms of 6 men wielding, I don't know, was it AK-47s or R5s? Like, as though one simple gun, babies and 9 mil, like, wouldn't kill her from one man? Why did they all have to exercise such vile, crass, excessive, it's not violence, satani. Like 6 men carrying AK-47s, literally showering her. Very weak, fragile, feminine body. So you need to learn how to defend yourself in court. And anybody who threatens you with court, as an activist, as a woman, as a mother in this nation, threatens you with court for raising issues that have brought this country to its knees. Corruption has brought this country to its knees. Corruption has ensured that you have over 60% going towards 70% black, female, young unemployment. Graduates. Corruption is a pandemic. I attended the anti-corruption, one of our anti-corruption. I don't serve because it's not like they've officially given me a certificate, but I get invited by the SIU, and this is an anti-corruption platform. There are other whistleblowers, I'm so sorry I'm forgetting their names, who have been bullied out. There's an Eskom whistleblower who's part of it. There's the former NDP, National Director of Public Prosecutions. Sorry, I'm going to remember and come back to it. She's part of that. And I think Advocate Umam Tulima Donsela is there. There's many other people, but essentially it's an anti-corruption, I suppose, not advocacy space, but yes, of course, advocacy is naturally part of the role, but it's meant to be established as an entity in the non-government space, probably at a multinational level, even though it's South African based, because the problem with corruption in South Africa is that it has a strong international element. We have now been listed amongst the top 10 most violent countries in the world with the highest rates of murder. We have, is it 44, 45, 46, 47? Sorry, between 44 and 47 murders per 100,000 people. That's a standard international measure for murder, particularly within the violent crime category. Internationally, the base is, like how if you want to see if you have adequate policing in your country, there's a number of citizens per police officer ratio. It might not be perfect. I know there are people who are maybe actuaries or other kinds of analysts who might have a different figure, but it's something to work with. So we are in the top 10. We are mentioned after Mexico and Honduras. Or Honduras. Is it Honduras, Honduras? I don't mean to disrespect them. We are in the top 10 countries, violent crimes. I'm only mentioning murder. I think in terms of gender-based violence, violence against women, we might be the top. I don't know, we're competing with Brazil and somebody. So you can't be negotiable with corruption because it's literally has put us in COVID corruption, the conglomerization and the withdrawal of state resources from the people who are supposed to be represented by parliamentarians, public representatives, to globalist entities who provided vaccines at gunpoint to countries. Vaccines, I was on record in 2020 on Newsroom Africa, I'm sorry I have to mention their name, in 2020 about the fact that no one is going to inject me with anything I don't want injected into my body. It's my right, it's my human right, it's my international human right, it's my constitutional right in South Africa. It's also my God-given right passed on to me by my ancestors. Agna muntu ozologo angjova. It's not going to happen. They said you're going to die and you're selfish because you're spreading a virus. I was like, how am I spreading something I don't have? I did science in school and mathematics, and it's just like how do you spread anything you don't have? And then they said, yeah, it's the people who are not vaccinated, they're building a counter, and actually causing infectious system within their bodies, and they are now the ones spreading it. Like, hey, bo. Now, who are saying these things? Politicians and journalists and so-called celebrities. It was politicians, journalists, celebrities, and some celebrities from NGO structures. They were not immunologists. They were not virologists. They were not scientists. They were not biologists. They were not medical scientists. They were not medical researchers, as much as I am not. Yeah, I dropped out of my medical studies with an average of 80%. Yeah, you can check at the previous Vets Technicon Doornfontein. So, because I never wanted to be in the medical field, I was somehow given the responsibility by some. I don't want to bring people here who have no responsibility for what I'm saying to say, yeah, doctor because of this and that. And I was like, yeah, and more than 30 years later, I definitely do not regret it. And I love doctors. I was a hypochondriac. A hypochondriac is somebody who is addicted to being sick. Mentally, psychologically. I'm putting it my own way. I know the psychologists and psychiatrists and neuroscientists who can correct me, but because I suffered from that, and maybe I'm a recovering one if it's a terminal thing, but I always wanted to be sick. And when I walked into my doctor's rooms, and I know my doctors are not allowed to corroborate it, but if I give them permission, they can, because my private medical, but I honestly was so addicted to being sick that I would walk into my doctor's rooms, and I always had black female doctors. One of my doctors was a wonderful doctor. I don't know if she wants me to mention it, but we share a name. That's as far as I'm willing to put it. I think her entire family are medical doctors. I love the medical profession. I really, really, really do. It's my deepest passion. It's healing. So I think maybe that's where I'm at. But I couldn't do it, and I didn't do it, but I love doctors. I'd walk into my doctor's room and obviously we go through the formalities. Hey, how you doing? And then, oh, what's wrong? Okay, I've got this and that. But I already know what's wrong with me. If you can please make sure on the script I'm paying. It's my medical aid. So maybe I should be arrested, but I'm not mentioning the doctors. It wasn't illegal drugs, but it was Big Pharma. Big Pharma is the biggest drug dealer. Is an official legal drug dealer. And they use medical doctors, like they did during COVID, as their drug peddlers. Because we needed medical doctors. And I'm not shaming medical doctors. I'm not. I'm giving tribute to Zahara in terms of this, everything that I've said today. because I think she was such a gender activist. BBC also acknowledged that about her, by the way. Earlier I told you. Yeah, there are lots of local media gave tribute to her. Thank you very much. I am colonized. You need to admit, though. So I am colonized, of course. So I'm going to demonstrate, traits of, admiring things that are done by our former colonizers. But I don't hang them perpetually to that role. Because like South Africa, there's a catch and release strategy right now. I'm back to the crime thing. Gunokoko Soweto Ezola. I'm going to get her name, Ukoko. Ushawe indoda ethengisa ama drugs in her area. She's 71 years old. Because I was sent this, it was already publicly known. That's why I'm mentioning her name. And because she went to the police to report drug activity that the whole community knew about in this house that had just been recently bought. And Gwaboshwa, Amapoisa eventually came, got Kichinyuswa, Gwaboshwa, 2 of those guys. One ran away, got away, and the one was arrested on Friday. I'm talking this past Friday. Yeah, I think. This past Friday or the last week. So it's a recent thing. And he came out on Sunday and went straight to her home. There's pictures of him on the WhatsApp things that I was sent by activists in Ezola. And thank you for sharing that. And he threatened her. She came out of her house to talk to him. She was shocked he's out. He didn't even go to the Protea Magistrates Court or the nearest magistrate court to Jablani Police Station. Jablani Police Station is always, even when I was a public representative, I was constantly complaining about Jablani Police Station. And as a citizen, I take very serious exception to Jablani Police Station's behavior. Repeatedly, they are in the wrong. They released him. He never went to. He beat up Ukoko Zodwa. And she fell and he kicked her. And the community fortunately took a video, I think, and took pictures of him. And he was literally like, I don't know whether Begagogile, some skinny jeans and whatever. And he was like waving his hands. Like in the picture, you can actually see his entire disposition. And he looks like a young person. And he definitely is South African because he's known. So here's the thing. You are sitting in a country where the police have, okay, and then I'm not going to say a friend. I know someone, because I'm an anti-corruption activist. I don't seek permission from anyone. I'm in business now. But I had to sever ties with some people because of the UNISA thing. And I said to them, look, it's okay, guys. It's really okay. And I'm coming to this topic in terms of the electoral reforms because you know that I've worked, and I'm so grateful to the New Nation movement because I worked with them on the electoral reforms matter, and we won. We've just had another victory because even if, and thank you to Musima Imane and Dr. Michael Louis and the other guys who went back to the Constitutional Court to get the ruling for independent candidates or individuals who want to contest public office next year to only register 1,000 signatures because it was grossly unfair, unconstitutional, and just crass. So we are sitting with a situation in this country where it's almost as though us now, Mapoisa. There's a report, I just don't remember the gentleman's name. I think he was talking to Aldrin Simpier. I love Aldrin. He's so thorough in his work. About, I think they're an NGO in the crime space. And he was releasing official reports that now concretely prove that South Africa is a destination of choice for cartels. So we're like a Mexico and a Colombia. We're a destination of choice, not for tourists who are bringing their money. Yes, they've got lots of money, make no mistake. For hard criminals who are cartels, organized, international, global cartels. Every kind of mafia you can imagine has a presence and is welcome with warm arms in South Africa. And they can sue me. SAFM can confirm this interview. I just forget the name. But we already know. I mean, the crime stats globally, our position being in the top 10 is known. We know about the corruption. We know that whistleblowers get blown with AK-47s. We know that food parcels get delivered to people's houses at night. We know there was an activist from the Northern Cape recently talking about how an MEC issued food parcels at night, and when the community or some activist or somebody was confronting them, they didn't know. So these people, I think, were fronting as ANC members. And they said, what about Ukokos Banbani? And, they speak Afrikaans in the Northern Cape. You can't even, this. I want to come to that issue because I suffer from that. I don't suffer from it, but it's a thing. According to people out there, it's a suffering, but it's not. It's a thing. It's just a thing. I'll explain it now. They went and dished out food parcels at night. And then amongst them, there were people who were asking, why about Kokos Banban? Because it's for the elderly and people, vulnerable persons. But this is not for Amakalati, it's for ANC members. I'm talking about this interview also happened in SFM. I don't remember the name. It was a whole thing. The MEC was invited to that conversation, didn't show up. I listened to it. I was driving somewhere far. We know, I'm going really shallow here. You know this, right? I'm not deep diving. So what am I saying? We're at a point where our debt to GDP ratio, if it's not close to 90% of the fiscus, because SARS in total, all taxes probably just under 5 trillion, and so is the debt of South Africa. There's a website you can go to. I don't know its name, but if you, come on, we can't. I can't remember everything. I know that I'm supposed to, according to some people, but I really can't. They just go and Google South Africa's government debt at this point, at this moment, on this second. It takes you to a clock that calculates your rising debt per second, if you don't believe me. And it's accurate. And, I want to post. And it's not my thing to post. Like, I am a very humble person. I dislike arrogant, people with out-of-control egos. High egos, low self-esteem. Should be the other way around. Not low self-esteem, zero. Not low ego. It should be not low ego, it should be zero ego or minus, even better. And then high self-esteem. Because high self-esteem and zero ego makes you humble automatically, if you understand the physics of it. I was telling you something which I think I've just forgotten, but I'm going to remember it. The fiscus. No, I had moved on. It's about the ego thing. Anyway, I wanted to summarize the Northern Cape thing. I think it came from that. It drove me crazy, that Northern Cape thing. It was so small. And then I spoke to somebody else about it. I was like, can you believe these guys? And it was like, yeah, it's normal. Even my area, it happened. They come at night. Oh, Ezola, food, Ezola. Bafike ebusuku. Banama food parcel. I'm just like, how much lower? Because it's not funny. It's not funny. It's just that, but how much more lower can you stoop? After 30 years of driving unemployment, I think that's where I started, to below 2-digit unemployment in 94, to now young people, certain categories of young black people, female specifically, and the boys, of course, and the men, and the young men and the boys, to where it's at. So we need to, as a matter of urgency, come to a semblance of reality, Tina. Because also the victimhood thing for me is important, and then it leads to healing, because once you realize that you're in pain, you must find a point where you realize I need healing and get it from wherever, give it to each other, share it. But healing needs to happen. But the victimhood thing is not helpful. Because I'm telling you, these guys are rolling with this program. You can follow it from the flu, 1918, the war, World War I, World War II, many, many wars. Right now in Africa, there's over 21, about 23 conflicts. There's many wars, several wars right now. And
nobody's saying anything about the DRC, Sudan.
That's what I'm talking about. 23 to 24 conflicts in Africa, funded by whoever is funding them, with Africans cooperating. Some Africans, not all of us, cooperating with some of these groupings that are bringing the conflicts because it's minerals, it's this, it's that. And we are sitting back pretending like there's nothing going on. We really need to get to the point where we start to reject certain things. I have a friend who's a computer programmer, scientist. There's fintech technologies where we can start our own banks online. Time Bank.
Shout out to stockfella.com. Shout out
you.
to Time Bank.
Exactly. So those technologies are not as expensive as we think, because also, I don't know the fancy language around it, but you can strike deals because they can be part of the bank, and then it can also have the mass-based, people-based Stockfell approach. What do you call it? Crowdfunding?
Crowdfunding.
Beyond
Stockfells. Stockfells are the future.
So that there's a shareholding for an individual who gets a share, but I don't know. I don't want to speak too much about the shares thing. It messes me up. I bought shares wabantu abanginikeza network efonini yami.
Eish, ngizwa abantu
My
abaningi
shares have
bacomplain-
lost
bacomplaina nge-easy
value.
equities ukuthi baluza I don't know what's happening. Let me not
I don't know
actually
anything
get
about
it.
easy
Sorry,
equities.
continue,
Ngikhuluma ngalawa amancane engawathenga manje
Okay.
sewayi less than the money.
Yeah.
It's like, why? But why didn't you guys tell me? Because I'm a customer as well. So we need to become more independent, self-sufficient, capable of taking care of ourselves. Not because we need to, but because that's how we are built, by the way. I think we disempower ourselves with this dependency. And I'm not by any means suggesting
Dependency syndrome.
the breadwinner, Ikaya syndrome.
No, there's nothing wrong about being a breadwinner.
No. There are cases in many instances where the breadwinner gets financially abused,
How?
psychologically abused.
How? From where you come from, though?
Lalele. We all have responsibilities that we are still taking care of or have taken care of. And then they yielded the results you hoped, and then it's easing now because the people are okay and the situation is better. Not because of your contribution, but just because everybody did something and you also happened to contribute. And that's good. But let me tell you, it's very real. Where there's entitlement also becomes unfair. Because you can't give what you don't have. There's many endemic cases of breadwinners who die paupers. Many. Old people. Where the people they beneficiated, and I can go deeper into it. Even isn't any, oh, putomdala, must do everything. I agree. In fact, women most of the time are also breadwinners. In fact, in majority cases, abazali, relatives
Abantwana bakubo.
get old.
Yes.
If they have the means in that family.
Yes.
But there's that behind the scenes toxicity that also happens. Let's not deny it, guys.
Okay, now I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's like anything that doesn't happen in balance. The minute you lose balance where it's not, because I heard you earlier, you were talking about you love giving and you're a giver. Naturally, that's who you are. But that's not balanced. That's not balanced. You need to give and receive. So as much as a receiver, that's not balanced. To just be a receiver. You need to balance. I told you I'm a Buddhist, right? But I'm a Buddhist who eats meat. So I'm like a Vatar Muslim, as they say. Vatar Slam in the Western Cape, they say that. Like a Muslim who eats pork and drinks alcohol. So you need to receive and give. So it's a constant balance, like the universe. We spoke about the quantum field and all of that. So the whole universe is in a constant state of flux. It's in constant motion. And so it remains that way we're breathing in oxygen, it's quiet, we don't see motion unless there's wind, rain. Cars, we can hear the cars and they're moving. That's technology, human-created technology from natural resources, by the way.
But have you realized that as a leader, sometimes you end up being in a situation where you find that people always feel like you're okay, you've got everything together.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're sorted, you're fine. Like even when people can, let's say during COVID-19 lockdowns, when everybody, the whole world knew that everybody's going through the most. But it's like for some reason, subconsciously, everybody thinks you're fine. Because you're the one who's always checking out on everybody. You're the one who's always looking out for everybody. Like everybody ends up being in a situation where they kind of feel like you're fine. And it doesn't mean they don't care about you, they don't love you, but they kind of feel
love
you're
you
the one
in
who
their
cares
own
about
way.
them. So in some sort of
Msebenzi
form of
wakho.
way,
You put yourself there.
You're a leader. Like you've got it together. Like sometimes
Actually, you must just give them money all the time.
not really, but I think it's just
No, but bakhona labo.
Yeah,
That's
like
the bread. Me not on the breadwinner thing.
Me, now when you go through your
You're
own
a human
demos,
being.
you
You
also
bleed.
go through the
Ababangakudubula uzofa.
most. You know what I mean? Like,
No, that's the breadwinner thing. That's the toxicity I'm talking about. And it's a silent pandemic. Because a lot of people sikhuluma ngayo all the time. I don't want to out anybody, but like it's a common day to day, especially for thina abantu besifazane. Because Nina, you also get that status of vusmuze magini, bomujalifa. You get masculine privileges. Sorry, I'm not rehashing old songs, but you get masculine.
and this is another conversation for another day. I don't like this, especially this global trend. I don't want to call it a trend, but this division between male and female globally,
Yeah.
it's like now it's penetrated towards South Africa where men that way, women
We
that
were
way.
never that
And there's
divided.
just those,
And this is why I'm raising it. And I'm raising it in sympathy and empathy to men. Trust me. I don't want to be personal because I don't want to make examples. But I feel for men because of that. Because sometimes we make very unrealistic demands from men. Because as much as there are also some men who take too much, they really revel in it. And of course, let me tell you, it's actually a good thing, by the way. It's just that I balance. And then the man is overburdened. And then, all sorts of things happen.
Yeah. Because it's also not a steering. It's not like Rambo, Schwarzenegger. It's like he's got it together all the time. Like he goes through the most too.
We are all gods, we know.
Like
but
she
like
goes
at the end
through
of
the
the day,
most
our
too,
flesh
yeah.
is organic.
You know?
So uyakwazi ukugula uphathwe yizo zonke lezi zifo lezi. So
now I don't like using that PR.
yeah. Most
But
of the
now
time you
go
are.
through the most,
Because you know what also
right?
happens, I think, psychologically.
Yeah.
If the ego is fragile, then what happens is that most of the time if you're the guy and you're a classical guy in that situation, like classical, not that all guys are like that, you've got the money, everybody knows. And you do, because you're an empath, because often you're empaths in that situation. You do take those responsibilities seriously. Then also there's an additional play on your ego, because you operate on the ego. You don't
I get you.
you don't manage the ego grounded all the time.
I get you. But not all of us, but I get you.
No, those are the ones that I empathize with the most, Nje. Because now he feels like he's enjoying
It's
it.
like I make a meeting. Sorry guys, I just got a phone call. Sorry. No. Leo Mercedes Benz make sure ukuthi uyipaka office in lami. Ngoba kunenkinga la ngibusiness family meeting la ngifuna ukwenza sure ukuthi bafuna malini kulo msebenzi wala ekhaya.
Thank you.
Ngizabuye ngikuthini.
Yeah, that's it. Mic drop, mic. I'm done with this topic. yeah. No, you got it. Yeah, I summarized. Why don't you make movies, by the way?
No, I said. Sorry, continue.
Yeah,
Let's
but then
continue.
also, why don't
No,
you
let's
make
stick to this
movies?
topic. I'll do that later, but let's stick to this.
You need
But
to make
actually-
slapstick comedy movies. I need mina ngifuna the cartoon thing yakamzekeze, please.
Hey,
Get straight.
Mzek's man.
I
Those are-
like Mzekeze.
Continue, sorry.
No.
Ngiyathina
Mina
ngoku-
ngiqedile
to
nje,
get
you
you out of
finished
topic,
it.
But then
But
let's
you
continue.
finished breadwinner.
Right? Earlier on, I said to you, Sis Mandisa, there's this racial issue globally, especially as far as we are concerned about what is mixed race. What is
Yeah.
first generation mixed race? What is colored in America? What is colored globally? What is colored in South Africa? There's a young, brand new, amazing girl who's been in the industry for quite some time. I actually had an opportunity to interview her when she was still in high school. I think she was doing matric at the time. Tyler is her real name. And she's half Indian, I think she's half black. And, she's mixed race. Amazingly talented, beautiful, young, smart, energetic, ambitious. She's a global superstar right now, and she's only at the beginning of her career. And once you blow up to the world in any country or global, whatever market it is, people want to scrutinize, "Ubani manje lo?" You know what I mean? Like, who are you from? Where are you from? Who are you?
Who do you hang out
What race
with?
are you? Type of thing.
What are your hobbies?
There's just that global conversation following Tyler's success globally. And I like the fact that now South Africans are holding their own.
Oh.
You got
Abantu
Americans.
bama
with that.
Amapiano.
You know what I mean? I like that. That's what I love
We're in
about what
charge.
Amapiano has done. It has
Lady
brought
Smith,
so
Black
many eyeballs
Mambazo,
to this country.
Maskandi,
Exactly. They're the modern
Abo
day Black
Zahara,
Mambazo.
BBC can't stop talking.
They're the modern day Zahara, modern day Black Coffee, Trevor Noah.
Ooh, Trevor Noah. Ooh, I think I have
and all
a
these
crush on
global
Trevor
Tusumbedu
Noah.
superstars that we have and that are amazing from home. And then you've got the Tyler conversation that talks about mixed race, and they say, and I also heard one other video where Steve Harvey, where he's like, "Oh, y'all can call yourself colors out here in South Africa." I think he was recording his Family Feud show here.
Yeah,
I think,
the South African
during
one.
COVID, yeah. And he said, "When you get to America, you're black. You'll find out soon enough that you're black." Because that's how you're seen.
Why is
everywhere
he
in the
saying you'll
world.
find out soon enough?
So go check out that video, go Google it. So I want us to have that conversation because you touched on it earlier, and I don't know if you remember when I said, "Hey, Tyler,
Yeah.
let's talk about the racial colored."
Which perspective?
conversation." I don't know. You come up with whatever perspective and how you look at it. Because for me, I look at it like, umdo colored in South African terms. When we reach our independence, 1994, I believe the government or the incoming government, which is currently the ANC, 30 years in leadership currently in South Africa, I believe they could have done better with having left, the word colored being colored and blacks being blacks.
And
But then
African.
again, and etc. But then you've got other people who are like, no, we're not black, we're colored, right? And then you've got other people who are like, no, I'm not colored, I'm not black, I'm mixed race. Then you've got other people, you know what I mean? Like so that global, on a global platform. So that's what's happening to Tyler, this young, amazing person who just wanted to sing music. Now she's dragged into these conversations about race globally and how and I love the fact that it's happening on a global platform.
Yeah. Because don't they call them mulattoes in South America?
I don't know.
Not them, sorry. I didn't mean to be
Okay.
sound rude, yeah. No. So in the Constitution, you know you have a clause that gives you the right to name yourself
Oh, I didn't know.
in South Africa.
I didn't know.
Well, you do. I mean, when you marry a woman in the world, she takes your name. You can go to Home Affairs and change.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you can change your name for whatever reason.
I hear you.
And there's no moratorium on that.
Okay.
So that's the thing. I think it's dealt with. I think, hey, let's relieve ANC guy one. Just on that one. They're very good with the naming thing. You know, they like to change names, street names and all of that. And you know the trajectory of what happens as soon as they change the name of a town.
I don't know.
Think about all the towns they've changed names. To our African names, thank you. There's no criticism on that. It's what happens after the name change.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't want to talk about it because
No, but as generations grow, things change. Because for now, I know that it's Winnie Mandela. May the late great icon rest in peace. But at the back of my mind, psychologically, I still find myself mentioning to some other people saying William Nicol. Right?
Yeah, I stay. I mean, I'm.
Are you
I'm
talking about
still-
that?
Yeah. I'm still on Jan Smarts. I'm back.
I know.
No.
Sure, go to me,
But
no
there's
40s,
no,
aren't
no,
you in
but
your
there's
60s?
no,
Yeah,
but there's nothing wrong.
There's
I
nothing
need to use the thing that I can relate to, and it doesn't. I don't want to be judged.
That's
I'm
why
not
I'm
judging
nangithatha
nobody.
phone number yakho nangiqeda ukukumita ngithi oh mandisa sihluthu.
Yeah.
Or ngithi, mara
And
ngikutsheli,
for you-
angikutsheli, for mina ngithi ngiyazi
Yo, mina
uzokukhumbula
nginamagama
kanjani.
for people as
Ngithi,
well.
oh
Yeah.
Elizabeth Savannah.
Yeah.
Or ngithi
Why Elizabeth Savannah?
hayi ngenze
Take that
example.
back.
No ngenze example.
It is Busiso Savannah.
Oh yeah.
It is Fiso Savannah.
No ngenze example.
It's Root Boy Paul
Oh, but you're a
Savannah.
feminist. I apologize.
No, I'm
Sorry.
not a
I
feminist.
mean,
I'm not a
when you said
feminist.
you're a womanist.
I'm a
sorry.
womanist.
Okay, we'll get into that conversation.
But I can also be whatever I want.
But what's the difference between womanist and feminist? Before we continue.
So it's okay. You can be a feminist. It's not an evil thing. We're not anti-feminism. We can't be. I just want to talk about what is. Feminism is in the same family. Ningabosisi or my cousin or something. A womanist is an African person of African origin who happens to be a woman and concerns herself with
Woman issues.
the cause of herself, her body as a woman in the context of Africa, which includes African men. So in juxtaposition to African men, because they are men, you are woman, and you were both colonized, and the condition of the African man in terms of the impact of colonization and dispossession on them, and also the impact of colonization and dispossession, not just in terms of agrarian and land, but economically, socially as well,
Yeah.
spiritually, which is part of social. No, spirituality is on its own. And how that has impacted on you from whenever up to the point where you exist. It's an existential issue, like part of your life that all African women or women of African origin are womanist, whether they label themselves that way, because it's also
Are you
labels.
talking about womanists or are you talking about feminists?
Womanists,
Oh,
womanists, yeah.
Okay.
All African women by default are womanists, whether they agree or not. Just their conditions determine that. And men, African men, as much as a man can be a feminist, an African man can be a womanist.
So an African man can be a feminist.
As a feminist is a person, a human being who's concerned. So that's
About
why I
women
said
issues.
A womanist is an African person who happens to be a woman. Remember I said that.
Oh,
Listening.
now I understand.
So a womanist is an
But you
African
can't be
person.
you can't be a womanist if you're not a woman.
No, you can.
You can.
Yeah, because you're a person of African descent who is concerned with the impact of colonization, dispossession. I'm giving my own.
Okay, let me put this question
There
this
are
way.
books you can
Okay,
get.
what's the
with
difference?
founders of womanism.
I asked you this thing a year ago or 2 years ago. I said, what's the difference between a womanist and a feminist?
So a feminist, so it doesn't, so a white woman, for instance, can also be a womanist if she identifies with these conditions of the African people in relation to dispossession and colonization. It doesn't matter their social and economic status today, because colonization, like we spoke about earlier, has got such a deep-rooted impact on all of us, mainly negative, but you know what happens. Lessons are always, bad experiences are always lessons. And the bigger the bad experience, the more impactful, the more painful it is, the bigger the lesson.
Yes, ma'am.
So for me, I see the positive side
Yes, ma'am.
of the impact of colonization.
Okay, I get you.
Because in any event, we're here. We can't be living in negativity. It happened. We know its impact. We know it's that this whole conversation. How do we move forward from now, today onwards? We're done with the analysis and all of that. So a feminist can be European, Chinese, Indian, whatever, can be a womanist if they identify precisely with the condition of the African person in this context. And so, like a man is also a feminist. My dad was a feminist. And yeah, he was a feminist. A womanist as well. I mean, I knew about Winnie Mandela from the age of 5. And I understood basic stuff because I was a female, and my dad with girls only at home. So my dad used to always have these conversations with us from when we were children. My dad never spoke to us like children. He spoke to us like adults all the time. So whenever as well, but he would sit you down and have a conversation, punish you with reading a newspaper, even if you couldn't read a word because Kumaswat.
By the way, guys, her sisters are stunning.
Where did you see my sisters?
Beautiful. Her siblings are amazing.
Someone once, they came to my 50th birthday party at my RTP, the North Riding. And I invited this other friend of mine, who happens to be Indian. And he was like, oh, you guys look like pixies, like fairies. There's something about you guys, like magical. And then he likened us to some series, witches something. Ukhumbula the three sisters. Hayi yekela ukuzenzisa. Awuyazi hayibo. But uyamazi uBhat Simpson yekela ukuzenzisa. But konje you can be trashy. No, I'm always talking about my age. And I also do it on purpose because I'm going to start changing now. Because human beings change I change every 7 years. So 49 was my... There's my mom's friend who used to wear... like she was stunning, she's still beautiful. She was my role model. She drove a car, she wore suits with the matching bag. My mom also used to sometimes. And begasalang to me Schweppes. That's how. Mina ngikhule Mayfair.
One in business Schwarzenegger. Okay, Schweppes we business Schweppes. Yeah, Schweppes, Coltrane.
Mina ngikhule Mayfair in a spot.
Are you serious?
In the mountains, like on the foot of
Croc Valley.
Croc Valley.
Yeah.
No, mina ngikhule emakhaya, like emakhaya Mfuleni. I told you this. I tell you this all the time. Yeah, because partly I had to stay in a township. It was extreme trauma.
At what age?
We started living with my mom. I was 9. My sister was a teenager. I was 9. But we climbed trees.
Clever. I don't mean just from the academical sense. I mean
we used to be called names when I moved to the township. I know. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, but why hasn't it been falling? There's so many leaves. Can you show them the leaves? Can you show them? Can you show them the tree?
It's the
oh, by the way, we're both tree huggers. We're both tree huggers. And this tree is huggable.
Property development
this tree is so huggable.
Go to the top, show them trees
the whole
over there at the top. The
peek into the sun as it's setting.
Thank you.
Danko. I refuse to say that thing. Yeah, with Danko. I finally said it. Danko. I can't believe you said Danko. So I need people to understand that I'm 50 years old now. I finished my 7th cycle of 7 years at 49, at 50. So I'm starting my 8th cycle of 7 years. That's my thing. It's not, there's no textbook or science research. I don't know. I just change every 7 years, whether I like it or not. So now I've decided to accept it. A lot of things change. My life gets turned upside down. I change. I start a whole new, because we're in constant motion.
Happy 50th, Des, Thomas, Siswami, Desiree. Thank you for all the years. I love you. Sure. Uyazi no sisters lapho khona, sure.
I echo
Leadership 2020, Pick and Pay, Clap Down. She's done great. Well, back in the day when I'm 2000 were never born at the time.
that. Why?
You remember
Why?
MTN?
Why must
remember,
you do that?
Remember
What,
MTN, you remember
2000?
MTN Gladiators?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
she
do
was
you,
part of
do you
MTN
remember the
Gladiators.
Chippendale?
Ah, the Chippendales. I'm a strip. My chippies are my hips.
Mediterranean men. Mediterranean. Some of them were European.
Chippendale.
No, Mediterranean is European.
You remember
White man.
Emmanuel ETV, Baba?
Did they even? No. Okay. No.
Semandela,
Leo, no. I'm
you
anti that
Emmanuel.
stuff. No. I'm anti PORN.
But that's ETV.
No, I hated that stuff. Like I was
did
like
you hate
writing
Emmanuel?
letters and emails. It's wrong. It's wrong. I mean, what if your kid is watching? I used to like TV as a kid, like because in Kule Makaya singana TV. So when I went to live with my mom in Lukshin and we got a TV, I used to watch TV like this. Ngalali. Okay, now I understand.
Zero hours zone. Toyota top 20. Baba,
Ungaka.
that's dope. I remember. ngathi umkhosi.
Ungaka ubheka i-TV. Ngathi umkhosi. People like, you know, children pass out in front. Like children pass out.
Sometimes you pass out.
Udla.
Ambolala wena. That's how my mom used to wait.
Udla. Okuthole so pass out. Mina.
Abogeza izitsha.
That's how much I love TV. So I had that image in my head. Not no ways. Emmanuel, December, boss.
That was the first Pornhub.
I hated
That
that
was
thing.
the first
Mamela,
Bank.
I was so happy.
The first Triple X videos.
I was so happy. I was so happy when it stopped.
That was the first
Oh my
Mandingo
God, like,
next thing.
I took it very personally. I was like, there are kids like me now, but it drove me crazy. It was abusive. It was molestation.
Oh, okay, let's continue because 2000 don't understand what we're talking about. But anyway, yeah.
Sorry, about Googlish.
Was the wrong thing? It's Emmanuel.
I
was the
no.
first Pornhub.
I wasn't talking about Emmanuel. You brought up Emmanuel.
But I'm
no,
just saying,
I disown it.
I'm saying you're planting seeds that take my mind to when Emmanuel was like porn. And now to think about 2000, they've got all of that at the palm of their hands.
Wow.
Like 100 times worse than that.
Calling a mix it.
You know?
Except
you remember Mix It? You remember Mix It, bro?
my daughter is in the mix it generation.
Mix It generation.
No, I
then
bought
what,
her.
Greg Junior?
I'm telling her
Sold it for how much? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm telling her utilili.
Oh, Tilili, that was the Nokia there.
I refused. I did, but mix it was also on some tililis.
Even that Alcatel that used to do this. The aerial was like this. You must be lulling it like this.
Motoro.
Even the
man,
Motorola.
Motorola was- was like was like Batman's car.
Books that came out around that time. There was no social media. But people used to say, hey, the start of cell phones in South Africa brought in even this new trend of names about Nokia Zoom,
Motorola.
about Motorola Mkwanas,
No, izinto zaseZimbabwe lezi.
about airtime.
Bezingekho,
Shabalala.
KZN.
You remember, bro?
Ungasukela amazulu. Bezikhona. Baphi labo bantu? Mina I've never met uMotorola Zulu. uMotorola Ndimande.
Alcatel Chauke.
No, I know the Zimbabwean ones. I know the Zimbabwean ones, and I'm not hating.
Bosimkat Mukwena.
Abo Hopewell.
Yeah.
Good Friday.
Shout out to Hopewell Chinono, my brother. But
Good Friday.
and this is a joke, guys. They say if you want to know somebody's Zimbabwean, ask them to say against. So to continue. I don't laugh. Like, continue. I love you guys, you know. But I mean, Farai, shout out to my sister. Shout out to Hopewell. Shout out to Bishop Maponga. All of y'all, just say against.
Against.
I didn't say that, you did.
No, but that's how I mean, it's not a diss. I know against.
I didn't say anything. I just
We're
just
going to
say
get
against.
sued. Your ZANU-PF is going to issue a
there's none of
statement.
that, man. They know it's
Okay,
all lies.
I'm sorry, guys. That was an involuntary action.
December, guys,
No,
we're
no.
having fun.
I laughed involuntarily.
Yeah.
Ngiyaxolisa.
Yeah.
Sue my cells.
Wisdom.
So,
Names like about education, about freedom.
kunabo COVID mos.
Say, about COVID.
Yeah.
True. About COVID.
Kuno
Makhululela.
FIFA
FIFA
2010
Mkwanas.
Soccer World Cup.
Soccer World Cup. Shabalala. Sure.
And let me tell you, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the Zulu monarchy has a right to call you to order.
Motlana was still alive, you know. Shout out to my brother Wandi Motlana. Miss you, bro.
Yeah.
So rest in peace.
Condolences,
Miss
you know, to all the families who lost people during the pandemic.
Yeah, I miss you. Wandi Motlana, for those who live in Joburg, know
And
who I'm
Wandi
talking
Lokshin
about.
culture. Oh, you know, Wandi's wife.
Culture. Shout out to Chubby, my bro. Wandi Lokshin
Chubby,
culture.
you
Remember the era,
know.
though.
And
Shout out to
Wandi's wife.
Kutlwano,
Everyone.
and,
Ferguson.
oh,
I didn't
shout
know
out to
him.
Shona, brother
Shona.
Shona. Oh man.
Everyone,
Okay.
there's so many people.
Actually, this episode is
Everyone,
going on a tangent.
everyone, unreserved
Like every
condolences.
topic we just touch and go, touch and go. I
Commiserations.
thought we would live on each topic, but then because it's
It
December,
was so difficult. Also, it's like a wrapping up of things. But I mean, 2023 was look, according to the Gregorian calendar, which majority people follow. So we are obviously working on the African calendar, which Ethiopia, I think Egypt as well, and other countries work on. So we're finishing the end of our first quarter from 23 September, which we observe. And so there's no superiority, like you said. It's not a diss, it's not a judgment, it's not an analysis even. It's just, it just is. So the people who are preparing for January, I think that's something that we were supposed to talk about.
yeah.
With a reflection on, you know, the last 12 months from January to December. But I think, I mean, Guningi, there's just too much going on, both globally and in South Africa. So I really think we all need to put our focus on trying to recreate and co-create. We need to work together a lot more, collaborate a lot more.
So collaboration over competition, right?
Yeah, competition is a capitalist
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they always divide. Republican, Democrat.
Scarcity, competition. So
Scarcity, competition.
create a division.
Chiefs, Pirates.
Create a division.
This and that, right?
Create a division. Create a division through the IP thing. I'm owning this. I've got the rights to this. You can't do
I'm
this.
better than you.
But all of it comes from indigenous knowledge. And no one stops us. Even our constitution. I don't know. I mean, you can criticize it if you wish. That's fine. I mean, we must allow those conversations. But they're not part of where I'm coming from. We are allowed to, there's a section in the constitution that allows self-determination. Is it section self-determination? Sorry, I'm forgetting the number.
We've been promising to get into the constitution
of self-determination, and
we'll get into it, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, we have to. But you don't actually. Even the fact that a constitution must give you permission to be you and do you is wrong for me. If I'm being judgmental now, sorry, but I'm recognizing that blockage. But yeah, I mean, we need to be honest with ourselves about what's going on. The education space is very big opportunity. It's health, education, producing our own everything that we consume, whatever it is. As long as we consume it, we must produce it. Because we have the natural resources. We are the most biodiverse country in the whole wide world, is South Africa. Without even going to the metals and other minerals and oil and gas and uranium and nuclear and silver and gold and copper and whatever, manganese, titanium ore, chrome, platinum, whatever. Without going there, the precious metals. And I'm not saying we shouldn't, because we should beneficiate from everything. But we must understand that we're beneficiating today, but we gave birth to children. What must they be left with tomorrow? And their children have given birth. Some of us are existing with different generations in existence in family trees. And so it's biodiverse, and so it has to be naturally processed, consumed, and reproduced and repurposed. And that's the only solution. Complaining about what Bill Gates, what Jeff Bezos, what George Soros are doing, and Oppenheimer and whoever, and his uncle, the 2,800 odd billionaires of the world, US dollar-based billionaires, it's not going to help us. Because there's a lot going on. I mean, now, AI is now, we enjoy it. There are good parts of technology. But there's parts. Do you know that in Germany there's certain technologies they didn't, by the way, make obsolete because of jobs, implication on jobs. And the Germans, as you know, are engineers. I mean, they're competing with whoever else in engineering. But they're one of the best engineering countries in the whole wide world. And they have lots of mechanization and machinery. Basasebenzisa effects. A printer, a paper, because they did a calculation to say there are certain so-called disruptive. You know how capitalism also gives you catchphrases, disrupt, and then you go ahead and you disrupt, and then you keep on losing jobs. and you don't know how within this disruption, how to recreate the job. We'll eat one plant until it's weakened because now it's got GMOs and other things. But your body needs variety for it to be very healthy. Yes, lots of natural stuff, indigenous, especially where you are born. You must be eating stuff that's close to not where you're born, but where you live. We're from South Africa, so we have a lot of biodiversity that's indigenous even to our DNA, and we should be eating a wide variety. You can eat different things every day, small things. Umroho, in your garden, it grows wild. We call it weeds. It's not weeds. In fact, there's thousands of what we call weeds whose uses we don't know. That's how eternal and abundant nature is. And it's our only solution to counter this thing that we have now correctly analyzed and identified as an enemy, correctly so. But it's an enemy that we coexist with as well. But we need to understand it. It disrupts Hagupi. Where do we stop the disruption? And where do we also introduce a counter disruption, but using natural resources?
Ladies and gentlemen, her name is MANDISA MASHEGO. Who's this MANDISA MASHEGO gimme? Auntie MANDISA MASHEGO, Mama MANDISA MASHEGO, Koko MANDISA MASHEGO. Abanye bacade go Koko MANDISA MASHEGO. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to 2024. And I'm looking forward to recording more episodes because but why don't you have this MANDISA more often? And I'm like, she's busy. That's my excuse. I'm like, she's busy.
Must I tell them?
No, don't.
Don't. Discipline as well.
Can we please do more episodes in 2024? Because people want you more often. They want you every week, actually, online.
I haven't really figured out. Okay, so firstly, I'm very humbled by the fact that there are people who think that, I'm entertaining.
Not entertaining, no. Thought-provoking, insightful, intelligent.
I have a problem with that because
intelligent,
the minute people put you in that bracket, then you become a quack.
It's not a bracket. I think that's what people love about you.
I don't want to be a quack.
You don't fall into any bracket. Like,
okay.
Nobody controls you. You don't work for nobody.
Don't say that.
You just...
People need to know that you are controllable to a certain extent.
No, not in a negative way, though.
Okay, fine.
Like, people know when they listen to you, they're hearing your honest views.
You mustn't be like a rascal, like
yes. It's not like
thank you so much for the appreciation, but I wanted to share something very quickly.
Yeah.
I want to thank a South African police officer who rescued me last night on the freeway.
What happened?
My tire punctured.
Okay.
And then what do you call it? I almost call them my union. They feel like a union. My insurance company.
Oh, insurance company.
My insurance company didn't show up. By the neck of the...
Don't say that.
No, it's fine, but it's true. Like,
but I'm saying, what happened? How long were you
just
there
on the off ramp to my place, like literally 100 meters from there.
Which off ramp?
My tire just goes.
Doesn't matter, yeah, I know.
And then, obviously, the first people I call. I'm coming from a work meeting that ended late, but it's with a friend colleague. So we were working on a document, and so I needed to at least finish it's actually due later today, but I'll do it when I get home. And so I had to leave late, and it didn't dawn on me which I must sleep over because of load shedding as well. You might be driving through black spots, dark spots on the road. Imagine you don't even have roadside assistance for insurance, and you have a tire. It's not like the engine, the gasket, no, gearbox collapse. No, it's a tire. You can change it in 2 minutes. I know how to change a tire, but sometimes those nuts are strong.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know anymore because I don't think I could jack the car.
And
So then this cop was driving past. I'd already called them. This guy this is my insurance. Eventually, ngiyabafonela futhi the number they SMS me with this is the person, the emergency person. Ngiyamfonela makaphendula ulele. Ngiyamuzwa ukuthi ulele from the way he's answering.
He's on standby, but
he could have at least gotten up. Listen, guys, tip: when you answer a call, business call or a professional call, and usempetini, just sit up. Your voice. No, uyazi.
Oh, uyazi was kanjani?
He's on standby.
Yeah, he's on standby.
He doesn't see he doesn't know my number. He's already received an SMS. If I
I
get an SMS, he's received. He'll have been towing what.
Okay.
So then this cop drives past. I'm panicking. For I'm lobbying. Yo, my tire. I don't know what's going on. But then I just centered myself. I did a little prayer. Then I felt safe. Then I was like, okay, my immediate vibration doesn't feel safe, but I'm going to force it. because now I need to be safe because I don't want to attract unsafeness because I'm on that off-ramp in Malibong. Part of the Yakske goes on the other side and there's a whole lot of people that stay there. So I'm not like very far from there.
Mavandal nje.
Okay, you said it. So
Uyazi amavandal nje.
After-
Amagarnabela hlala lambili.
this cop, after all the things I said about SAPS, which I stand by, there's a cop who arrested a person who had illegal drugs on them. Ego road traffic what? Wamisa police station, she's newly qualified. Wamisa police
Is
station,
she?
I'm a whistleblower, yeah.
Yeah.
Wamisa police station, waqala one processor. Wathola ama phone calls, anya ma colleagues wakhe ayithena member wakathi. Stop. Kwangena amasulimana amaningi. Sorry, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Kwangena amadoda amaningi. Azodila another situation. She couldn't charge the guy. That's how rotten your police are. Anyway, so this guy was an angel. They were responding to a call he did say, I want you to take a registration number azange ngifunde igama lakhe because they have a badge. He was so polite. Oh my goodness. I was like, wow. He was so polite. He stopped the car, he switched on the things right next. It was like while I was dealing nalabo auto in general no first which I'm now reporting to the ombudsman.
Yeah.
Saying my report, like I need to write the email and attach all my things. I did a video with the guy. Do you know what happens while I'm talking to them? They're like, because I was like, listen, I'm driving this thing on the rim. Because I'm on the off ramp and then engine garage. No, I don't feel safe. This one is sleeping when he eventually answers ulele. They send me a second number. I call the second guy. He's like, yeah, no, I'll be there soon. Where are you coming from? Yeah, this and that. Because they know my location. It was a nightmare. And this cop is like, so I'm like, it's like 11:30.
Absu.
Yeah.
Almost midnight. Yeah.
And so I'll pay. No, I'm thinking of driving it on the rim because it will be about maybe 400 meters. 100 meters onto the top of the on-ramp, left into Malibongwe, and then there's an engine garage. It's about between 300 and 400 meters. I'm like, I'm finishing the rim. Impilo yamle.
Yeah, because
I do have a spare tire and everything, but I'm not doing it. While he's like, yeah, I'll. Then the lady who's with him says, oh, they're responding to a call, and then stop. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I was like, wow. I didn't get his name. He could have been from Rivonia or Morningside, because if he was from my area, he would have been from Douglasdale Police Station, and I don't see how he would have come all the way around to get to near the off-ramp of Malibong. He could have just come inside my street, Belez Drive, up from Douglasdale to Belez Drive and get Malibong. Was it going towards Randburg? They were responding to a call. So as he's responding to a call, I'm like, yo, I'd hate to have a bad situation because need delay like him. This guy came out and he was good looking and tall. Anyway, that's it. So he took care. Then he was like, he looked at the tires like, that's fine. I'll follow you with the siren. Hambi garage. He's like, just let's go slowly. Because I told him about the trauma. Imagine telling an SAPS officer about the trauma of financial services in the private sector. The script was flipped. This guy is my hero. And then we were now preparing he was getting into the van. No, he said, I'm going to go behind you so that I'm safe. Crazy people who were coming on the on-ramp. And then, as we were now driving, I didn't even drive 20 meters. Guess what happens? Kudlula, an AA type, like a tow truck company, one of the reputable ones. I think they called something Tow SA something. I really have to. That guy stops. I flash him. I'm like, oh, maybe this is my insurance.
Yeah. And then he stops.
Like, maybe this is my insurance company. I've got such hope because I'm paying. I flash him. He stops. When the on-ramp is doing this.
Yeah.
Yellow thingy.
Yeah.
He slows down. The
That's
cop.
that's literally 200-300 meters from Sadly, where Ashanti's sister passed on, where she had an accident in
shame.
South Africa. Ashanti, the global R&B
Oh,
superstar
wow.
from America. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Condolences.
Yeah, she was going to a show at the Dome at the time. Yeah.
Oh, may she
that
eternally
area-
serve us.
It's actually not far from here. It's just around the corner.
Oh, wow. Yes. Okay, I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
thank you for telling me. Shame. Sorry, condolences.
But another spot, that area is Ngapa. It's called Sharon Lee.
Yeah. Olivedale.
Sharon Lee,
Olivedale and then Sharon
Ngapa,
Lee.
It's called
The
Olivedale.
North
yeah.
Riding,
Yeah,
Ngalia,
where we are.
Douglasdale,
Basically, we are
Johannesburg
here,
North.
same area where the farm is.
No.
That's where the
You are
development
not
is
in North
coming.
Riding. You are in the
We
wealthy
are, we
side.
are.
You are in
No, we are.
Bryanston.
Well, it's next to Bryanston, but it's
You're in
Bryanston, North
Bryanston,
Riding.
but it even says Santon good GPS.
But it's Bryanston, Santon, North Riding. It's just North.
No,
of
North Riding and
Johannesburg.
Santon are not the same. Yeah, it's nice.
You
North
see
Riding is
what
nice.
Joburg people say, guys. You see what Joburg people say? Tina, we'll sell
I live in
we'll
North
sell
Riding.
it to be diplomatic
I
and
love
say
North
it's north
Riding.
of Joburg. And people who live in Johannesburg really tell you the truth. How much value of land you're gonna get? You're like you're in Bryanston.
Yo, that thing,
you're
yeah,
in
connect-
Santon. That's not what I want to
Okay,
say.
ngicela ungiboleke
Because
imali
then
so
I
I
say
can buy a
Bryanston, I say
stand.
Santon, and you guys are like, oh, so cheap.
Ngicela
And then
ungiboleke
you
imali
get here and
ngithenge
you're like,
istand.
but this is also next to North Riding.
Ngicela
Don't worry,
ungiboleke
you'll
imali
get-
ngithenge
Hayi,
stand,
there's no
ungiphi
need for
stand.
ukuboleka imali.
Uzongiphi istand?
Ngizokuphi istand,
Yo!
yes. Yes.
Do you know this is legal?
Ngakunika istand wena na ungathatha i-podcast ube committed ukulirecorda every week.
Which
Because
podcast?
people want your voice, though. People want your voice. People always say this to me, like,
Which podcast?
Uyaspora when I suppose it's Mandisa.
Why would they say that?
No. You don't even have to go start your. Why don't you take over Virtual Mkuku?
What?
Yes, I mean that would be dope. Imagine that.
Take it over?
Yeah, because I mean Penuel is doing
That's
one with the
a-
Penuel show.
That's a very big
And
responsibility.
We spoke with Penuel, and Penuel is like, why don't you get Mrs. Mandisa?
Oh, when an opinion you talk about me behind my back.
Ah, but I mean, come on. You know me and Penuel are brothers.
So, okay, wow, that's like I'm still okay, let me be honest, because I don't want to do the thing ANC, that lady who was interviewing Will Smith's previous PA who was talking about what
Who was
Will
that?
Smith was
Who was that?
doing. You know, Utu Will Smith was doing something with the guy. You know, in
I
office.
know, I don't want to talk about those things.
Okay, so I was being trashy.
It's okay, I don't want to hear you.
Okay, so because you did say,
Simthanda njalo
you
Will
said this
Smith,
to me,
yeah.
was it this morning or yesterday? So I'm still really in shock, literally.
No, I really do
Because
think...
you have a lot of people who are subscribers
Yes, ma'am.
and members, because apparently there's members and subscribers.
Yes, ma'am. But I really do think, not even about me thinking, I think because of what we started with Penuel and because of our responsibilities becoming bigger and bigger. I mean,
Yeah.
I look at Virtual Mkuku's last episode was probably like months ago. And people, but it is, I mean, but it's
Yeah,
Penuel.
can I be
And
honest?
Penuel is like, yo, big homie, what's up? What do we do with the platform?
But
It's
can I
grown,
be
it's got an
honest? I was
audience."
also getting stressed. Because I didn't see an episode, like your usual, like with whoever, other people. I then started going back to older ones, like repeats ones. You know, sometimes you watch it halfway, and that's a brilliant thing about the space, because a person doesn't have to watch it all now.
They can watch it at their own time.
Yeah, and you can fast forward, go back, and then,
Yeah.
you know. So,
But abantu abaningi bathi, Sbu, the reason why we loved you with Penuel, you've got your own perspective.
Yeah.
Penuel has got his own mind, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Penuel the
Mrs.
God.
Mandis has got his own, she's got her own mind, right? When Sbu, you come from entertainment, we understand that we know you've known you for 2 decades. We love Penuel, but then Mrs. Mandis as well, where is she? Type of thing.
yeah, when's that?
No, we need her here.
So-called Rise and Sparkle.
Because I know you're no longer like, I don't want to call you no longer an activist. I don't know, what do you call
I am
yourself
an
now?
activist. I'm an
Yeah.
eternal activist. I was an activist even as a kid. You're an activist.
Yes, ma'am.
An activist.
In my own way, right?
He's an activist.
And Penuel's
in hip hop.
activist in his own way, yeah.
Everybody's an activist.
But you're an intelligent mind that is needed on these social medias. Let me say podcast streets in South Africa.
No, thank you so much. Actually, like, I'm really honored that you're serious about this.
It's not me, it's the people.
Yeah, but it's
Uthini
also a very
usisibona-
big
usisibona ngathi
responsibility.
Give the people what the people want. Don't complicate things. When people tell you what they want, just give them what they want. People want
I
Mrs.
love
Mandisa.
Bonang, though. I'd love to interview
I love
Bonang.
her too.
Yo, Bonang is like, I'm such a fan. Ubonang, oh my goodness, Ubonang. No, Boiti. Oh, Boiti is like my daughter. I love her. She's like so cute. So, okay, so I can talk to those ladies.
Whoever though, like take over the
Who owns
platform.
editorial authority?
You.
Oh, wow. So much power in one moment.
No, it's not power. Sis
Thank
Mandisa,
you. It is
come
power.
on.
Editorial authority is power.
Well,
Editorial authority
in
is
the
power.
olden days,
I know,
captured
because
media,
Tina,
right?
we're trying to invite people into it,
Yes,
open the
ma'am.
space like you're doing now.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
this deserves a hug or something.
Yeah, I believe in you.
Ungawi.
I love your nigga. I love you and I believe in you. And I really do think, guys, instead of the...
Oh my goodness, this is like
but-
so much abundance. This is very, very overwhelming.
But I really do think when Sis Mandisa, you know, people like yourself and your frame of mind. And, I mean,
And my generation, I'm 50.
yeah, I'm 50 in what, like in the next 6 years? I'm also 50
6
years old.
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's around the corner. I'm 44 years old now, right? So
Upen 10, you're still a pen 10.
I'm singing Ipen 10.
Usase upen
Well,
10.
Ipen 10 kabani.
You could be. That's what I mean. Don't be narrow-minded. You could be a pen 10. You're what, 6 years away from 50? I used to say pen 10. You can. No. I'm a pen 10 and my levels.
Yeah.
I need to explain this.
Yeah.
And my levels.
What are the levels of Pen 10s?
Because abo sugar nabo
So there's
levels.
that level where how 20?
Yeah,
how
he's
many
20.
Years? Are you 20? What? 26?
Yeah.
28. He's 28. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a pen 10. Guleo age.
No,
But
he's a real Pen 10.
there are younger pen 10s than
I'm not a
him.
pen 10,
No,
I'm a
there's
grown
younger
man.
pen. There's younger pen 10s. No, we pen 10 in Dala.
You groot man.
We pen 10 in Dala.
Indoda yomuntu,
No, you
groot
can.
man,
We pen 10
leader.
in Dala. We pen 10 in Dala.
Can you see how dope her podcast will be, bro? Like even on her own, even with her own guests. Like people bother me all the time. Like, what's this Mandis? Open your hand. Open Nota. Open. I'm like,
I don't want to talk to Nota. I don't want to talk to Nota. I was once dragged.
You can talk to
I was
whoever.
once dragged on Twitter. But
But
you got Sakafana to Nota, man. Remember, I called you and Penuel. Not who's Nota? I didn't even know. I called Penuel. I called you. You don't answer your phone. You know. I've called
If I don't
Penuel.
know the number, I
But
don't
Penuel,
answer. Clearly, you called me from
I
a
was
different
so
number.
stressed because people send me on WhatsApp like my clips, like people were dragging me, like how you saying, saying, oh no, I was like, oh my god, this doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
It's like Penuel, who's Nota? And I'm sorry to Nota, like I don't know.
I'm sure
Nota.
Penuel
I
laughed
really
first.
don't. Now I know Nota.
Yeah.
But that was my introduction. So I don't want to like do something that will lead me to get names, to be name
No,
called.
but you're always dragged anyway.
Oh
for
yeah,
your activism.
You know, I get
So,
dragged.
nothing
Nisa's
different.
dragging me.
I get dragged all the
Lebogang
time.
drag me. Paul Majatile drag me.
I've been dragged like I mean, now I've just been dragged. My sister passing
Shame.
on. I'm mourning like everybody. People are dragging me like
Oh, and you've got this new. You've got this. There's a new news. Young lady from Kenya.
Oh, Tina Adore. Yes,
I wanted
she's
to
a
know more
musician.
about that. So maybe
Oh,
my first conversation must be with you because I want you to talk about your work.
we've got a podcast with her. I think on the 29th.
Okay. No,
29th
I'd
of
like to know
December,
more about
it's
her.
dropping next week actually. Her episode. Yeah.
And then what's
She's
happening with
amazing.
you and Power FM? Can I say Power FM? Am I giving
what
them
are you
free
talking about, me
exposure?
and Power FM?
I see you on Power FM like there's.
Are you
these
talking
things-
about Metro FM or Power FM?
No, Power, like where you were. I don't know if
Or
they
are you
were
talking about
to
702
you,
Prime Media?
whether they were talking.
Guys, who's
with
talking
you.
to me? Who wants me
I
back on
saw
radio?
you.
I
You're
don't know
on
who wants me back
TikTok.
on TV.
Okay, sorry.
I'm
I'm
back
not
on
saying
TV.
Power FM wants you on
It's not
Power
Power
FM.
FM, no.
What is it? Is I saw you in studio.
what you're
You were
talking
playing
about.
this
I'm always in
lady's
different
song,
studios,
but you were
though.
playing this lady's song
I was just jiving maybe.
to the song. I
No,
even
was just
remember
there
the
for an
melody.
interview.
But
I
they
was
were
just there for an
interviewing you.
interview, Yeah.
Your sis manigeze publicity.
No, there's nothing wrong. It's a
No, I'm
black
not saying-
owned. It's a black owned. It's
Yeah,
my
who
role
given,
model.
who
Look
given,
what
who
Given
given,
him
who
got.
given,
It's my
given,
role
given,
model.
given is I love
He's
given.
family.
I
He's our
love
groot
given.
man.
I
We
love
him.
given.
We
I love
He's
given.
our groot man.
Given is
So-
amazing actually.
So I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the SABC, talk about Metro FM, talk
Woo!
about 2000, talk about Power FM, talk about 702. Guys, I'm not on radio. I'm just podcasting. And I'm saying, I'm on the Hustler's Corner. Why doesn't she take over Virtual Mkuku? Because Penuel is doing one with the Penuel show. And we spoke and agreed that, bro, focus on that side. I'll focus on the Hustler's Corner. Let's find a way to have somebody to take over Virtual Mkuku. And I think Sis Mandisa is the right candidate. Because me and Penuel are just always a call away. Me and Penson are always a call away. Me and Notes. I'm looking forward to Sis Mandisa meeting Nota.
Oh my god. I don't know, like I don't want to damage anybody's reputation.
You don't
what
know
I
him,
mean?
you'll know him. Let me leave it there. You'll know him.
Was he
He lives in New York.
was he in hospital?
No, he lives
recently?
in New York. No, he lives in New York. He's in New York currently.
So thank you. I'd first like to, I'm a PR practitioner by profession. Like people forget that, and I like to rub it in people's faces because I really, I love the communication space because even though I'm not mainstream there in terms of my business, but I really love it because it underscores many, many things. So what I want to do is, if with your permission, because this is your platform, you own it, I want to do a survey so that people can talk about what they want and run like active discussions with your subscribers and followers and members and all the esteemed people who are part of this. Because I remember before you've explained it to me that it's actually organic. It's driven bottom up. So you go through all the inputs and look at what are the points of interest. So I'd like to really do a survey and then do some interesting engagements with people who are members and subscribers, etc., etc. Even critics. and invite them if they can get to where we're working from, and have conversations with them, especially on the economic side, blend it with social components. But we are essentially what Virtual Mkuku is really a support to Hustlers Corner, a complementary support. Everything boils down to the economy. So it doesn't matter what it is, whether you're in the nonprofit space, whether you're unemployed. I mean, you're unemployed because of the economy, being in a certain situation. So it would be really nice to have real conversations and also drive this economic commercial agenda, because I really, honestly, I believe in free enterprise from an indigenous point of view. So not from an ideological point of view, from a communalism, the collaborations. So balance the social content with the economic content, and make it practical and make it come alive and bring it to life through events and activities, traveling around the country, doing amazing things with people on the ground. You know, my seed exchange program has just gotten an array of hope, you know, and the natural products. And I'm happy that I was a lobbyist for a sugar-free.
More fire, which is now out.
There's a sugar
We've got
because
a
of
second
me.
flavor
I
now.
even said it must be
Miss
called
SA
MANDISA.
flavor. We've got a new Miss SA flavor. What is it?
I don't
Ah,
get
bro, go
any.
get it,
I
go
don't
get
get
it. It's in the
any.
car, it's in
I
the
don't.
back.
I don't
Oh,
get.
did we give it away? I think we gave it away. No, let's do a proper a proper episode where we'll have it on the table and we'll talk about.
And apparently the water is coming.
Yes,
So
ma'am. We've got water coming
You've
in
got your property,
2024.
your development stuff, and many,
Yes,
many
ma'am.
other things. So without giving away trade secrets, and by the way, I like that visit you made to where you produce it in Cape Town.
In our
lady wearing a lab coat.
In our manufacturing.
Yeah, people need to see
plant.
that, the behind the
yes,
scenes,
ma'am.
and
Yes,
get to
ma'am.
understand, because there are many, many people with beautiful products. I'm using now a product, I forget the name. I'm going to come back to it. I attended an organic fair, and amazing. By the way, spoke about Lokshan culture earlier, and Wandi saying, you know,
Miss Chaba,
condolences
yeah.
again. Wandi's wife has got a beautiful spa in Burgersford. She hates me saying Burgersford. What's the new name for Burgersford? I told you I
What's
got
the new name for Burgersford? Limpopo. Shout outs to DJ Maluela, my
where
bro.
there's chrome mining and all. She's got a
Yeah,
beautiful spa
yeah,
there.
ferrochrome as
All
well.
her products
There's
that
some
she
gold and
uses at the
diamond there as
spa
well,
are morula and other indigenous, you know, inputs from Limpopo, which are South African. Morula this, morula that. She's got a beautiful foot rub she gave me.
Moringa also. There's a lot of moringa there.
There's lots of stuff there. There's lots of stuff everywhere in South Africa.
Yeah.
But morula is their thing, you know, the baobab tree and
Yes,
the
ma'am.
elephants. It goes along. So there's so much going on, which is why I was saying we need to deal with Big Pharma.
Well, Virtual Mkuku is your platform. Let her take it over. We've spoken with Penuel. We've agreed.
What if I get
there
it?
it is.
There
There's
we
the new-
go. What's
the
it?
new-
I
the
never
new-
tasted
The new
it.
sugar-free Miss SA can.
Ngicela ukuyitaste
There it is.
Oh.
Please hold it. Let him zoom in with
And
the camera.
purple's my favorite color.
Ngicela
Okay.
ubambe sengathi una 19.
Ngicela
Ngathi
ukuyenza
uyapromote
so.
lapha yeah. Ngicela uzume in boy. Yeah.
That camera.
See, Berry Queen is the name. Miss SA. It's a limited edition. Brand new podcast coming in 2024. Virtual Mkuku. With
love it.
Sis MANDISA MASHEGO. I don't even know if you're going to want to change the name or you like the name Virtual Mkuku. It's up to you.
Rise and sparkle, Miss Ungovernable.
Danko. Ladies and gentlemen, Sis MANDISA MASHEGO. I love you. Thank you very much, my
I
sister.
love you so much.
Ngicela
I'm
uenjoye.
so grateful.
Ngiyabonga, sis
I'm
wami.
so grateful. I'm so grateful. Like I'm overwhelmed. Thank you.
Siyabonga. Guys, 2024 is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to you guys achieving your dreams, becoming millionaires, starting your own company.
Billionaires.
Getting a new job, getting a promotion, becoming a billionaire. Some of you guys getting fired like us, starting
All
your
the
own
time.
thing, experiencing
Getting
challenges,
sued.
growing from them, getting sued, growing from all of that, because every experience makes you become a better person. We love you guys. Have a great festive season. Happy 2024. Danko! You said
Danko,
today.
Danko, I won't live to get over it or live to get it over something.